Welcome to ForexTV.com. It's Tuesday, April 15th. I'm Remy Hookey for New York Forex Market Buzz. In afternoon trade as of 1:25 p.m. Eastern Time, Euro dollar is at 1.5783. Sterling dollar is trading at 1.9619, while dollar yen is at 101.68. U.S. equities are seeing a slight gain in choppy trading, while NYMEX crude oil futures continue to hit record highs, earlier touching 113.93 a barrel. In a U.S. data heavy week, U.S. producer prices climbed 1.1% in March, while core PPI, ex-food and energy, was up 0.2%. Meanwhile, February net long-term tick flows came in at $72.5 billion from the $62 billion in January. And the New York Fed's Empire State Manufacturing Index rose to a positive 0.63 in April from the negative 22.23 reading in March. This afternoon, I'm joined by Matthew Strauss, Senior Currency Strategist at RBC Capital Markets. Good afternoon, Matthew.
Good afternoon, Remy.
Thanks for joining us today.
No, you're welcome.
Well, in the North American session, the U.S. dollar is firmer, while the UK pound is weaker, hitting another record low against the euro. We had key inflation data come out this morning, and this has been weighing on central bank monetary policy expectations. So first off, how does the latest data weigh on your outlook for the UK currency?
Well, we have just recently changed our outlook on interest rates, and we were a bit ahead of the market, expecting another 25 basis point cut in May, and it now seems, after especially the CPI data that came out, that the bank might actually move to cut interest rates further, because the data took some of the concerns about underlying price pressures away from the Bank of England. If we look at the data, the market was expecting, especially on the core side, for inflation to tick up to 1.3%. It came in 1.2%, so just lower than expectations, but it is important, it is below expectations, and that could open the way for the Bank of England to continue their easing cycle and even increase the pace of easing monetary policy in the UK.
Well, Matthew, looking ahead to the North American session tomorrow, we'll be getting CPI, U.S. housing starts, as well as industrial production. Now, today's ZW figure came in at a negative 40.7 in April from the negative 32 in March. So given our economic calendar for tomorrow morning, for Eurodollar, what's your forecast?
Well, I think tomorrow, busy data day. However, in the US, the inflation data not as important as it is in Europe and the UK at the moment. So even if the data is slightly off expectations, unlikely to provide new direction. And at the moment, it seems that we're very much stuck in a range as far as the euro dollar is concerned. And at the bottom of that range, we would be looking at 156.80, and then at the top end of that range, 159.12. We've tested that now 3 times. It formed a triple top, so it's becoming quite a daunting task to break above that level. But within that range, a very broad range, the sentiment can drive it any way. But we doubt whether there would be enough data to drive it outside that range.
Okay, Matthew. Well, we also can't forget that it's earnings report week here in the U.S., and we have plenty of market-moving fundamentals. So for the low-yielding currency of the Japanese yen as well as the Swiss franc against the majors, what levels will you be watching?
Well, if we look at the yen, also against the U.S. dollar, unable now during the last few days to break below the 100 mark, so we would put 100 as a bottom or a very strong support level for a dollar yen. On the top side, we're looking at 102.94, a level that could very easily be tested again. But if it needs to break through that level and with a lot of momentum to really drive it much higher than the 102.94. On the euro side, if we look euro-yen, on the top side, we're looking at 161.70, and support coming in at 158.23. As you've mentioned correctly, at the moment, sterling under significant pressure, and it is actually difficult to get good levels for sterling, especially against the euro, where euro sterling keeps making new highs. So we would be looking, our first level on the top side would be 0.8070, and on the bottom side, 78.90. And as you've mentioned on the Swissy, also very interesting developments. It has formed a very strong symmetrical triangle around parity. So from this point forward, it is a currency pair to watch very carefully, because we're looking for a breakout on either side to confirm a new trend. So that is a currency to keep an eye on during the next few days. And as far as the Aussie is concerned, struggling a little bit overnight as the equity markets didn't really want to take off, and Aussie came back against the Australian dollar. At the moment, we're looking at levels 93.43 on the top side, and on the bottom side 91.26.
Okay, Matthew, thank you very much for insight and analysis this afternoon.
Thank you.
This has been your Forex Market Buzz with Matthew Strauss, Senior Currency Strategist at RBC Capital Markets. I'm Remy Hokie. Join us later this afternoon for PM Exchange right here on ForexTV.com.